you want it, you can grab it with your hands. Nothing's out of reach. If you really want something, if you need it, you can grab it with your hands. Nothing's out of reach. If you really want something.
Hello all you wonderful people out there, welcome to Germaican Experience. My name is Gabi and today I'm continuing my story from my childhood. I hope you enjoyed watching the last two, which you can see above. And remember to subscribe, like, share and comment below. Remember that. So the last time I told you how we moved in the middle of the night to somewhere nowhere's land. Like, I was heartbroken. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my childhood friends and it was just so sad. The good thing was I finally had my own room and my mom, she put in some nice furniture in there which were new, but I didn't mind. It was a two-story building in the middle of the town. You can't really call it a town, it was an extremely small village, right? And the good part sort of was if I walked up the street and the other street back down, like also that's where his parents lived. I did like his mother very much. She was such a good soul. They had animals too. I remember they had pigs, they had chickens. Not quite sure if they had a cow. But I do remember she killed the chicken. She just took them and fling their head like and it was dead and thing. They slaughtered the animals and I saw a lot there. I remember one time she was stirring this big huge pot there and it was all full of blood and making blood sausage. Since that day I never ever ate blood sausage and I never will. That was a nightmare. Yeah. And the grandfather, he had a mill. He was making in that mill animal feed. So he always kind of was full of this flowerish look. Yeah guys, I'm back here. We just went into some technical difficulties. The battery ran off charge. So, continuing my story right now. So, where did I finish? I did talk about my grandfather. My grandfather, he had a mill. And he always was full of dust, like this flowerish looking white thing on his shoulders, like, and he was smoking a pipe. I still remember that. He wasn't very friendly to my grandmother, none at all, and she was busy like a bee. She was baking her own bread. She cooked everything from scratch. I remember she making her own noodles, like, and she did make everything, and everything she did tasted just so great, believe you me. Yeah, so I sometimes went to their place. Then Albert, my stepfather, he had animals too. So after he came home from work, which was mostly around 4 o'clock, my mom back then wasn't working. So I finally got her to myself, which was pretty cool. And I was supposed to help him. He called it the Hühnergarten, chicken garden, if you want to translate it like that. And I still remember that big place. There was this very steep ladder you had to go up first. It was extremely high and I was so scared of it, believe you me. If you jump off that ladder also, you would be dead like anti-foul, believe you me. And then we had to walk a little bit further and we reached to the Hühnergarten. And he had everything there over the years. I mean, we had I don't know the English word also for Hängebauchschweinchen also, you know, the small pigs where the belly is touching the ground, like they're very cute and taste extremely delicious. Yeah, and we had wild pigs, boars. I was really afraid of them. One of them had these long teeth there like also, and he wasn't very friendly. We had turkeys, we had chickens, we had dogs, we had sheep, goats and a lot of rabbits. We also made our own hay and we harvest potatoes and God knows what kind of stuff like. So that part I sort of did like, but I didn't like his company. It later on became a habit that my mom, when we came back also, she always would ask me first, what kind of mood is he in today? So like I told you before, it was a really small village. I soon started going to school there. It was a very small school, nothing big, nothing special, but thank God it wasn't far away from where I live. But I guess nothing was very far away from where I live because the place was so damn small. And the language, I didn't understand one thing. And my stepfather didn't understand me. Thanks goodness my mom, she did grow me with Hochdeutsch, like proper German. They only speak Swedish. Was hast du gesagt? That's the only thing I ever heard from my stepfather. So, was hast du gesagt? It was hell. And all the kids there and everybody else talks Schwäbisch. But you know, in Germany we have different dialects. In Jamaica you actually have that too. So every part you live you have a different dialect. So where we lived it was the Swabian dialect. Okay? Even that is different in different areas. It depends on where you're living. So if you're new to it, it's really complicated. Everything seems to end with an sh, hush, bish, mach. Even when I talk like it now, so I feel so weird, believe you me. But my mom and I, we still continue talking in proper German. Thanks goodness. Over time I got used to it, and in school I talked then Schwäbisch too. And it was, yeah. I don't know when quite the time began when I noticed that my mom eventually had a problem. Because I was small, I was a kid and I didn't really pay attention. I only remember one incident when we did still live in the skyscraper, like also there was always a bottle on top of the fridge. And I remember one time she took that bottle early in the morning and her hand was shaking. But I was a kid, I mean I didn't know what that all was. But then in those days she started sending me to the supermarket more often, which ended up as a daily like, and I had to buy all those hard booze kind of stuff. I mean, but you never would see it, as she never walked around acting drunk or anything like, you know. But me, I know her so well that I saw it in her eyes. And every time I saw the eyes like I saw she had definitely more than enough, so I just sort of left it alone. I stopped carrying kids home because I was afraid they would maybe see it, find out or something. I mean, I want to say at this point also I really love my mom, so it's not to discriminate nobody. Also, alcohol is a disease and God knows it's a curse. So things got more difficult and the fights start. I don't even know when they really start. It's just all of a sudden things got really wild. I remember one time Albert, he started a fight over one green spot at the tapestry like, and he actually put that spot there himself because he flung a plate there at dinner time. We eat in the living room and he just flung it plate like, and from there the green spot came. But anyway, there was enough reason for him to start a fight like, God knows why. And it really got violent like, I mean he did shout and my heart just went boop, boop, boop. And I went upstairs in my room. My room was right on top of the living room. I remember I laid on flat on the floor like, so I could hear every noise going on downstairs like, if I like it or not also, but that's what I did. And I heard some things I never heard before in my life also. So obviously he was beating my mom and I didn't know what to do. I really felt helpless. I mean, there was small me, what do you do? Yeah, and then we just continue life like. My mom of course said, oh, so it was nothing, it was nothing serious, nothing to worry about. Yeah, by hell I was brave. I remember he had a small bike, a moped, not a fancy one or fast one also, but just a bike like, which haunted me maybe up to this day also when I hear the sound of those mopeds like, also I started getting creeps because it reminds me so much of him. But I was brave. I took that bike and my best friend and we went on tours, but we always made sure we at least 2 hours before his time of homecoming was that we reach home like, also so the engine would cool off and you know, and he wouldn't notice anything. God no, how I was so stupid. And one time something had to happen over all those times we did that, and one time for some reason I realized when I got home also that the tank deckel was missing. You know, where you close the tank, like. And I was, oh my god, what I'm supposed to do? So I went back to all the places where we went, like, and believe me, God must be on my side, because I found back that thing there and I put it back on. But no, the engine really was hot, because I just made it about right on time before he got home. But she never said a word. I don't know if she ever found out or knew or anything also, but she never said anything. But after that, I never took the bike again, ever. Oh my god, no. Yeah, but it's funny how you're brave, even for somebody you're so afraid of at the same time, but you still do your stuff, like, or you're still being a child. I made some friends there, and we played a lot together, but mostly at their places. And school was fun until maybe 4th grade. After that, I didn't think it was so much fun anymore. So I guess that was the time when things really changed a lot. It got to that point where I was really afraid. So anytime I heard the bike come, I went upstairs. Fortunately, I still had to eat together with them. He was one of those people who said, also, anything comes on the plate, also you have to eat it off, like. Yeah, it was very quiet. I didn't enjoy that very much. Then one time, my mom, she had 2 bandages around her wrist. Many years later, I found out that she actually cut her wrist because she wanted to die. Leave me alone with that idiot guy there. But back then I was just told also, it's nothing, I just fell, and you know, I don't know why children sometimes so silly, or maybe they just want to believe what they were told and just hoping for the best or something. Yeah, and pretty soon I had to give away my dog. The dog what he gave me in the beginning, like, also he got on his nerves, like, and he had to live with my grandfather and my grandmother. He said, oh, you still can't visit them, can't visit him, like, but he wasn't the same anymore, and I was pretty upset about that and really sad. Yeah, so that was pretty much the beginning of the drama. So next time I will tell you more about that, how things really got a lot worse. And take care of yourself. See you next time. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.